those nice videos. I don't have the nice audio. It is hard to convince other people to want to work with you when you look like you need help. You need to look like you don't need help for people to help you. Single day, I'm trying to be a better human being. I'm trying to be a better artist. I'm trying to be a better writer. And as long as I'm doing that, every step really counts. And, when I let my dad know, he was like, you know what, just try, do your best. And it's the one who drove me to the place where I was going to leave. You have people who like it. You have people who don't like it. If your stuff is liked by everyone, it's average. Trust me, this is a fact. If everyone likes what you do, everything you do, it probably is average. Some people have to not like.
Alexander Bagonza, better known by his stage name Apas, formerly Apas Killer, is a Ugandan musician, producer, and songwriter. He's 34 years old and still a very young man and still has a long way to go in his illustrious career in music. He's mostly known for his versatility in the music industry, excelling in genres like reggae, dancehall, afropop, and R&B. His contribution to music has been recognized with several awards, including the Best New Artist at the Hip Hop Music Awards, Best Dancehall Artist at the Uganda Entertainment Awards, accolades from the Buzz Teeny Awards and onwards. Meanwhile, his hit song, Tuli Kubigere, was used as a soundtrack in the international smash hit movie Queen of Katwe. So, how is it that your name was first Apas Killer and then it became Apas? Maybe let's start there.
My name was Apas Killer because of Bounty Killer. Like, Bounty Killer is one of my favorite artists in dancehall. And I liked how he did his thing, and I just felt like Apas Killer would be nice. But because of some of the people I used to work with, they were like, Apas Killer, you can't be a killer. You're a nice guy. I'm like...
And you do seem like a gentle person. So
yeah.
You're hardly a killer.
Yes, I'm not really like a killer, but musically I am. So that's how I envisioned it. But they were like, Apas Killer. I was like, okay, it's just Apas. Let's just go with Apas.
So has it been 10 years since you started the music?
Yes.
Is it 10 years this year?
10 years this year.
My goodness.
Yeah, 10 years. 2014, so we're in 2024, so yeah, 10 years.
So in just a blink of an eye, 10 years have gone by. And what would you say in the last 10 years or over the course of your career is your highlight? What would be the moments that you would count as being one of the more critical and important?
I think 2014 was critical for me, getting to be discovered by so many Ugandans and so many people outside Uganda. For me, that was it. You know, we've had so many special moments, like having 4 songs in Queen of Katwe. Not just 1, but 4. That's
4 songs.
Incredible. Yes, because you're not seeing so many artists have such chances. But it's because of the music. In 2014, kick-started my music, so that's very monumental in a sense. And for me, that's like the defining moment. Like, that's the moment, like when you start and when you kick it off. And for me, that is everything. Anything else I appreciate, and I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for the future. I'm very thankful for the now. I'm very thankful for the past and everything I've gone through. But the beginning is always everything. It really defines Apas as an artist.
So was it very difficult to convince your parents that you should be given a chance to do music as opposed to maybe first finish school and then do music?
Oh, really, like, I just told my dad, I feel like this is the thing and I'm not going to fail. I want to start something new. And I feel like the more time I was spending in school, like, I was still writing lyrics. You're in class studying computer stuff and you are just writing lyrics.
Instead of paying attention and writing notes.
Exactly.
I'm sure they didn't punish you at school for
They wouldn't do that because at the university, the teacher just teaches, whether you're not serious or whatever. It's different from, let's say, high school or college. It's quite different. But with university, you just sit at the back and you do what you have to do. Whether you're writing, so they don't know if you're writing the notes or you're writing music. So
your parents could clearly see that this meant a lot to you.
Yes.
And that you really wanted to push this thing.
Yes. And when I let my dad know, he was like, you know what, just try, do your best. And it's the one who drove me to the place where I was going to live. That same day I was leaving home. It was not just I'm starting music. It involved me leaving home, and I'd never left home at any time.
Wait.
So it was two things.
Of your own volition to say, hey, Dad, I want to move out of home
I want to move out of home and start music. It was not just starting music. It was two things.
Was that necessary, though? Couldn't you have just stayed at home and done the music?
Not really. Like, sometimes you have to leave your environment to do something new. It's kind of like tough to do something new in an old place. Sometimes you need a fresh, new environment to think different, to breathe different, to experience life different. And I had to have challenges. Leaving home meant that I have to look for money.
Did you have a lot of distractions at home? Like maybe siblings?
Not really. Most of them had left, actually, before me.
Oh, so you're the youngest?
I was the one. No, I was not. I was the second born, but my parents needed me more.
So they had kept you around?
So they kept me around because I was at the university and I was coming back home. So it was home, work, home, school, work, home, stuff like that. So we never really had the chance to be out of home.
So in your case, unlike other musicians, I mean, you are a writer and a producer also, which I would think gives you a great advantage because you probably didn't have to look for money to pay people to produce your music. I would imagine that you were producing a lot of your material yourself.
In the beginning? In the beginning, not really. Like, I was actually learning all these things. Because I was working with producers and working with all these
so you had other people making beats for you?
Exactly.
But you wrote the lyrics?
Up to now, I still have people who make the beats. Producing is something different. People think producing is making a beat. That's beat making.
Is that how it works, though? Like, a producer makes a beat, shops it around, an artist takes an interest, puts some lyrics on it, and boom, you have a hit song.
No, not really. First of all, beat making is the idea of creating a beat. I'll give you an example of a song like Mariana. Nassim made the percussions and the drums and everything. And then I got in Michael Uma because I needed something. When he played it, I was like, that's what I want. Nassim was not involved. It was me.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, this is what I like. Then I got in Jose Sax to play the saxophone. And I told him, play some stuff. If I like it, we work with it. So that is actually the element of production. Production is controlling the session. It does not necessarily mean that you're a beat maker. Beat making is practically different from producing a song.
So producing is essentially you're like the architect. You're the one who brings in all the separate pieces.
Exactly. And you know how the song has to look like in the end. You know, how is it going to sound sonically? How is it going to feel like? What is the coloring of the song?
So is it possible to be a producer even when you can't play an instrument?
Yes, I'm one of the few. I'm actually the most coolest producer in UG.
Get out. You play instruments, don't you?
I can, but I tend not to.
Wait a minute. I see all these instruments.
Yes, I tend not to. I even have a piano the other side. I can definitely play, but I tend not to because I just don't want to do the most. I can play it with my mouth. If a guy is here and he's going to play stuff, I'll just give him like an idea.
Wow,
and then we build off that.
It's funny because now that you say that, you remind me of Michael Jackson, who also wasn't really gifted in playing instruments.
Exactly.
But he is a Grammy-winning producer. Exactly. Thriller, his biggest selling album, he produced almost half the songs on there.
Exactly.
Co-produced with Quincy.
Yeah.
I think for Beat It, it was him that produced the whole thing, and Billie Jean too. So it's like he just would have ideas. And I remember listening to some demo tapes that he would send to Quincy, where essentially he has done the harmonies, he's tried to syncopate some beats. Yeah. So essentially, by the time they're getting into studio, half the work is already done.
Yes, exactly, because he has the blueprint. He has the idea of the whole thing. And that's the thing. But for me, I work with both. Someone can send me a beat, and then I become a reducer, not a producer. Where I just remove certain things, and I know, like, this is unnecessary, that is unnecessary.
And now that you mention it, and this is something I've noticed about your music isn't overproduced. It almost sounds very airy and sparse in terms of instrumentation, which is why it's sort of your voice that mostly shines through.
Yeah.
Is that the outcome of a deliberate process of removing things and trying to have a minimalist approach to the music where it's your voice that's the focus?
Yeah, most definitely, because the voice is also an instrument. And people forget that. You're getting a beat and it's doing the most. Then you put yourself onto that. It's just cluttered. There's just too much going on. And I hate too much. I just like stuff that is very reduced, but deliberate. You have things that have to be where they have to be, not having everything all over the place. And that's majority of Ugandan music. People are trying to get the beats to help them. I help the beat. The beat does not help me. I'm trying to help it. So the beat
rides you. You don't ride the beat.
Exactly. So you find so many people, they need support from the beat. They make the whole thing sing around, and then they tend not to do much. And I tend not to want to do that because I really have to have deep lyrics when I'm doing anything, whether it's a love song, a sex song, whatever it is, it has to feel right. And how does it feel right when it's very cluttered? There's too much going on. I just try to reduce. That's why I said I'm a reducer to a certain extent. I reduce certain things and let the voice shine within the beat, because the beat is there to support the vocals, to support the message. Because with just the beat, you have no message. You just have a nice beat, but then you have no message.
So I think that's how you came up with your trademark style. And so over the years, you've sort of developed a sound that someone can easily identify that that's an APAS song, and you've managed to enjoy many hits over the years. But let us now talk about your latest album that you released early in this year, which is a juggernaut. Like 42 songs were released as part of this album. Tell us about the development of this album. How was it conceived? Because it had been a while since you'd produced material, and my understanding is that it took you several years to compile all of it. So what was the genesis of this project?
The genesis is that I really wanted to have an album that is me, first of all. That's why the album is called Bagonza. Why? Is because I'm honest to myself. I'm not going to lie to myself. And I really wanted to do something that sits deep in my heart. That's why I chose to do that particular album. And it's really 99% of the album is love. It's talking about different things in love: heartbreak, lust, deep love, It's talking about sex. It's talking about every single thing within love, regret, and all these things. So I really wanted to talk about love because my name is Love. I'm called Bagonza. So I wanted to do something that sits deep within my DNA and who I am since the beginning. I was born out of love.
If I may critique you a little bit, couldn't you have said all that within a few songs, an anthology of maybe a dozen songs or more? Did it need 42 songs for you to say what you wanted to say?
We recorded 120 songs. So that's the first thing.
Okay, that's a lot of songs.
So even just cutting to 80, cutting to 60, cutting to 42 was very difficult. So it was very difficult. So to answer your question, love cannot be explained in like 12 songs. That's why you have so many love songs out here in the world. What I wanted to do was to make a folder for my fans to listen to a love section of what I feel as an artist. This is beyond an album. I think someone called it an album, but it's beyond that because I'm just giving you my hard drive. Go in there and find what you like. Whether you like this two, whether you like that one, whether you like those three. Maybe in 2 years you like 4 more. Maybe in 4 years you like 6 more. Like I just wanted to put out something out there that is large and different people can dive into different sounds within the whole project.
That was a very daring move. It's really not been done. And I would guess that you are an independent artist, right?
Yes.
Which is probably why you could do this. If you had been signed to a label, I'm sure they would have had a different approach, right?
Yes, exactly.
They would have probably taken the catalog of songs you'd produced and maybe divided it up and said, okay, this year, the 12, then the next year, and so on and so forth. To release all of them at once, editors happy. And often they will do it at the artist's expense. They will try to make you look as goofy or as crazy as possible because it gets them what they want.
Yes, I think the problem of wanting virality is huge. I think it's everywhere. Like people like all these thumbnails, whatever stuff that can wow people and make them search or look at the thing. It's okay. But I feel like there's more to human beings than getting them that.
You're calling for balance.
Exactly.
Do
There's
a bit
more.
of both.
Yeah, it's
be
fine.
Funny and goofy,
be funny and goofy, but let's also be serious. We can't, and that's the thing, is like I always tell people, never take my silliness for a lack of seriousness, and vice versa. You know? And vice versa. I'm just that guy. I can be silly, but that does not mean I'm not serious. And I can't be serious, but that does not mean that I can't be silly. And I think it's just life. Like there's need for a balance. You know?
You are quite, at least I who follows you on social media, and others I'm sure have noticed that you do have a silly side that you do like to showcase for your fans.
Yeah.
And I think in between your releases, we're often entertained by your little videos on Instagram, on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then you started to work out.
Yeah.
And so you're posting your exercise routines. How's that going, by the way?
It's crazy.
Looking,
yes. It's crazy. It's crazy. Working out has been beautiful for me.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I was like, I need to start working out, but I was never doing it. I bought equipment, had it for like years, and I was never working out. I had a room in the house that had like a full gym. Trust me.
So what was your reason for it? Because I don't think it was to lose weight.
No, it was never to lose weight. It was to gain some and just be a bit shredded, because I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee. I'm a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. So I want that kind of physique. I've always like wanted to be that kind of human being. And I was like, you know what? Let me just start working on it.
Or did you want to like, be able to hop on stage shirtless and just wow the ladies?
That as well.
I don't know if you've noticed, but especially among black artists, whether it's rap, hip hop, Afrobeat, our male artists want to go on stage without shirts.
Yes.
And yet you do not see rock musicians, country musicians. Why is it? What do you think is going on with the culture that some could argue it's an attempt at sexualization and objectification of male artists from Africa and the diaspora? What do you think it is?
I feel like it's physique. Like people see that as a sign of strength, I guess. I would say, from my understanding, it's like when people see someone who's worked out, they're like, oh, that guy looks nice. That guy looks strong, So some people really want to look strong when on that stage, being the man. The person is the man. Like, let's say me. People have been seeing me skinny. I'm just there, When they see me like with muscles, they're like, yo, I went for Apa's show. It was looking good.
So a hater would say that maybe you were bullied as a youngster, and so this is your way of seeking revenge.
It's actually the other way around.
Oh, yeah?
I would bully other people. Yeah. And this is one thing people don't really understand. Since I was young, I was doing martial arts. I was training. It's not like I'm not trained. I can fight.
So you can whoop some butt.
It is very easy. That's why I'm always alone. I'm not worried about anything. It's because I am in control.
So no one should mess with you.
Yes, and I've helped myself to get more strength in the gym. So I'll be packing a heavy punch.
I'm sure the ladies are quite pleased, assuming there's someone in your life. But
I have someone in my life, and she knows you. That's the funny thing. Very well. Like she's kind of like been in the same area with you guys.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I won't tell you the name. You one day just be surprised. You're like, oh, it's so and so. Oh my God, I can't believe this. A pass.
Well, that's interesting. Well, regards to her. For sure, I'm sure she'll watch this
we
conversation.
Give thanks. Most definitely. She likes this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's worked with you guys before. I won't tell you the name.
Awesome. Is she here?
She's not here.
So let's talk about some of the feedback that your album has received. Now, last week, there was a bit of controversy.
Yeah.
There was a spat you got into with the DJ Nimrod, who was claiming that the album, in spite of all of the 42 songs on there, hasn't been able to generate a hit song. And obviously, I mean, the album is great, but that was his view.
Yeah.
And then you replied saying that essentially, I think you said that the target audience for this album are fans of APAS. And then you mentioned how some people will like what you do, some people won't like what you do. You just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Were you caught by surprise when he came out like that with those remarks?
No, really, I'm never surprised when people say stuff. I expect it. I think good content divides opinions and divides people. You have people who like it. You have people who don't like it. If your stuff is liked by everyone, it's average. Trust me. This is a fact. If everyone likes what you do, everything you do, it probably is average. Some people have to not like your stuff, and some people like your stuff. It is life. There's that thing when you're doing something great. So someone is going to listen to a song and say, nah, I would rather the Apas who did Guliwano, because it's not saying anything like Guliwano, which they already used to, because people like what they're used to. So when they're not hearing a song like Dida Dada on an album, it's like so fresh, so clean. Majority of the album is in English, and they like Luganda. They're like, he's left me out, and I get it. Mm-hmm. Every project is not for you. Some may be for you, some may not be for you. And listening to a DJ like him, and that's why I said in the first place that I can never give a wedding cake to a pig. I can never do that. Because it will eat the cake like rotten tomatoes. It will eat the cake like rotten food. I'm telling you, to be honest. Because it does not see the value of the cake. Those who see the value, those who like what I do, they like it. I'm not here chasing numbers.
Well, initially when I heard his remarks, I could kind of see the point. But then when you explained the rationale behind releasing all these songs at once, it sort of made sense to me, because I'm like, yeah, if you put out 42 songs, people will be so overwhelmed that they might just not engage as much. It probably is going to take time for people to engage and to keep coming back to it. Oh, by the way, there was this song on that album. Did you check it out? There was this song. And maybe that's what Nimrod doesn't realize, which is that this is not the kind of album that you put out and boom, hit singles just popping out. It's an experience that is going to take time to unpack.
Yes, and it's not a club-like album. This is a listen-to album. It does not have so much bangers. The album is something you play in your car. 2 hours. You're on a long distance thing and you're just cruising and you play the whole album and just have fun with it. It's that kind of album. It's not the album that will play in your club.
Right. So it's probably not the disposable kind of, the kind of album that has songs that you consume, you chew, you spit out.
Exactly.
It's sweet like bubblegum.
Exactly.
Sweet and nice, but
for a short time. And that's the majority of Ugandan music. And I don't do that. What I do is higher logic music. Mm-hmm. If you can't really reason out things, if you can't read lyrics, you may have a problem, So, but him being a DJ, wouldn't he be expected to understand that? I don't think he's a DJ.
He's a DJ.
I've not really seen him DJ.
Okay, because
he's a presenter. I've seen him more presenting than being a DJ. And that's a fact. And the other thing is that I respect that he had his say on it, because I know people like him.
You don't think there was a tinge of malice involved, that maybe did you feel like he was trying to put you down?
Yes, I know. Best of what he said, because he's saying how other people have, so-and-so has a hit song, you don't. So-and-so else has a hit song. So it's like, it's personal for him. But the truth is that for me, I don't take it personal. I understand how you think. Mm-hmm. I can see the logic behind what you're doing. I appreciate it. Keep going. You're promoting the album.
Right?
He's a promoter. He does not know that.
Actually, you probably might want to reach out and thank him, because
I reached out to him and thanked him, actually.
He now has rekindled interest in the album.
Exactly. He does not know what he's doing. He thinks he's squeezing me by the balls, but what he's doing is actually making me enjoy life.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that we were talking about how some of your music has been featured in motion pictures.
Yeah.
And it's been rumored that you have alternate sources of income. So, like, you've been making money from streaming, from having your music featured in Hollywood films.
Sync licensing. Mm-hmm.
So, how are some of the other ways that you are sort of earning a living that people may not know about, which you're comfortable sharing?
I feel like streaming is key. Shows, I do shows. I think shows make more money than anything.
But you don't do concerts.
No, I don't do many that I show. The thing is this, I may go and do like, let's say, a gig, and I may not post it. The problem is that when you don't post stuff, people think you're not doing anything. But how do I live here? Do people pay me through juicy layers of bubble gum? Like, people pay me with money, you know, and I get paid. You get paid through shows. For example, I'm on Blankets and Wine, the 30th of June.
Okay.
You get the point.
Wait, this month?
This month.
Awesome.
So it already shows you that things are going on. Why didn't they call those other people who have hits that the other man was talking about? They called me. And the thing is this, we have a catalog. We have a crazy catalog since I began doing music. This is 10 years.
10 years.
You know, it's crazy. And on top of that, people love the music. So yes, people get you on shows. Then you have streaming money. Then you have royalties with the music that is signed to ASCAP and all that. And yes, some people have documentaries and they want the song in there.
So, Epas, how much money did you make from Queen of Katwe?
I can't tell you how much, but it's in hundreds.
Of dollars?
Of millions.
What?
I can't tell you how much, but that's it. It's the truth.
What?
Yep. 4 songs. I didn't have 2.
More of old music, right?
More of old music. And even some of the music is not popular music. Like Chempulida is not a popular song. I don't even think it has 5K views on YouTube. And that's the misconception. People think if you have the most views on YouTube, you make the most. You could actually make very little from even having 1 million views. And I could make so much from having a song that has 20K views.
And a lot of those views are even bought.
Exactly. Most people are buying views out here. But I've talked about it, and it's the truth. And this is the thing. I think we had actually an exchange with one person at what's the radio? There's a particular radio. I won't mention it. But the thing is this. People do not know. When you buy views, you cannot gauge how much effort you have to put in real life. Because you do not know how many people are vibing to your thing. Genuinely, for you to actually improve what you're doing. How do you improve what you don't see? If I know that at least I've gotten 100K of people, and I also read the comments and see what people have to say about the music. Exactly. I can find a way to improve that. How do I do that when I've bought views and I have 1 million views? And there are actually not 1 million views. I probably got 50K. What do I improve when I can't see anything? I feel like people buying views is one of the worst things they can ever do. It's easy for other artists to do, like let's say American artists who already have like crazy numbers. And even when they buy the views, it does not look that bad because they already had like crazy numbers. But you don't have crazy numbers and you're out here buying views. How do you genuinely track your growth? How do you see how you go forward? Or how do you see that you're going backward?
So you seem like the kind of artist who embraces the feedback, positive or negative.
We're good with it.
You don't take it personal.
No,
you use it as a learning experience, a chance to improve and make changes where necessary.
Exactly. And I feel like that's the thing. For example, I don't think any question has ever been a problem. The answer is always the problem. It has nothing to do with the question.
Someone said the only stupid question that exists is the question you didn't ask. So in other words, always ask.
You
All
get
questions
me?
Are fair game.
Exactly. There's a lot to learn. And I feel like any opportunity I'm given, I take people's words very serious and also not serious because I know what I'm doing. So someone will tell me something and I'll listen to it. I'll internalize it and try to understand what they're trying to say because everyone has a perspective, you know, and everyone has like feedback for you. If they deal with what you deal with or they like what you do or they don't like it, they will say something. Now it's up to you to take the feedback you get internalize it and see what to say or what not to say.
So let me ask you, are there any changes you have made based on feedback?
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of
stage presence? Yeah. Stage performance. There are things I'm learning because fans will come and tell you, but Apas, it just seems like you don't have the vibes. Sometimes you know, and the thing is that you have to take it in because you're serving people. So you learn, see the changes that you can make, you listen to them, they tell you what they think. You're like, okay. For example, people are saying, on this album, you didn't give us enough dancehall. I'm like, fine, don't worry. Let me give you a mini dancehall album this year as well, so that you have that as well. So that's feedback. that I'm actually taking and I'm working on. You know, it's not like, okay, you know what, people are complaining and I'm not doing anything about it. I am doing something about it. And I think it's only fair to also listen to the people who consume your content or your work. It's only right.
So at this juncture in your career, 10 years in, would you call yourself a Ugandan artist or are you more international artist? How do you see yourself? Because now we're seeing a lot of African artists gaining a lot of international attention. The Grammys recently created a new category for African music.
Yeah.
The appeal of Afrobeat seems to be increasing. Do you see yourself riding that wave and sort of pushing yourself more globally and internationally, or do you see yourself mostly as an artist for Uganda?
For now, I'll definitely see myself as an artist for Uganda. When I go out there, I'm international. When I'm here, I'm local. So I practically see myself as a local artist that aspires to go international. And I'm on the course. I'm actually an upcoming artist. This album is like my first, though it's my third. I'm now beginning to do things the way I want to do them.
How are you planning to promote it further? Because
Yes.
it's been out for a few months now.
Yes, most definitely.
What do you have planned for future promotion?
Shooting, first of all, shooting videos is one of the major things because you want to be playing on top television networks, because if you have the music and the quality is really good, it's easy to put it on MTV, it's easy to put it on BET, but it's really difficult to get to those places if the quality is lacking. And I'm really working on the quality. That's the thing that I'm focusing on, trying to make sure that the lyrics are inclined, the videos are on point, and then try to feed those audiences. And if they take any of my music and it goes, then it's gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where do you see you going in the next 10 years? We're now 10 years in. What's the next 10 years going to be for APAS?
The next 10 years, I don't see them.
You don't want to see them?
I don't want to see them.
Are you going to retire?
I don't want to see them. I don't even think about retiring because I don't know what is going to happen. Even tomorrow, I have no clue what is going to happen. So I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that every single day, I'm trying to be a better human being. I'm trying to be a better artist. I'm trying to be a better writer. And as long as I'm doing that, every step really counts. For those 10 years to be whatever I want them to be, because I want to be huge, I want to be crazy out there. But all that can only happen if I'm dealing with the now properly. And if I'm not dealing with the now properly and just envisioning the future without looking at what I must do to get there, I think is a big problem. What I'm looking at right now is what I'm doing. How am I doing this? How do I improve what I'm doing? Other people are getting to this stage. How do I get to that stage? How do I put my music in the right places? Which other people can I actually tag along to get to this point? And I feel like that is the goal. But for right now, it's just to make good music so that even if collaborations come that are outside Uganda, they're easy to come through when people have seen something already. But if I don't have those nice videos, I don't have the nice audio, it is hard to convince other people to want to work with you when you look like you need help. You need to look like you don't need help for people to help you.